Good morning on a Tuesday morning. It's been a few days. It's been a beat or two, hasn't it? So Tuesday, July 8th. Apparently 7-7 was a portal yesterday. And I was listening to Consciously Erin on YouTube. She looks at the Schumann resonance, which has just been off the charts. So check her, Consciously Erin on YouTube. Schumann resonance, which is measuring the magnetics on the Earth. And then there's an Italian graph that measures something else. I'm not sure. Anyway, not my thing, obviously. But when that matches up with what I'm feeling, like, then you pay attention. You're like, okay, that explains so much, and it does. So it was just felt like a big build-up, and I had a couple of days of sadness for no particular reason. A couple of days of feeling sad. A couple of days of wondering, okay, what's happening next out there? Not particularly for me, but out there, it just feels, and it still feels like something big is going to happen. Feels like, so anyway, part of that is, don't you hate looking at yourself? Part of that was there was a timeline jump, and a big timeline jump, and she says, and this goes with lots of stuff that I pick up as well, and other people are. The timeline jump, this is when there are enough people in the collective that are willing to go in that direction that we've talked about, that direction of kindness, equality for all, more equity for all the things that those of us that are engaged in this would like to see for the planet. So in order for that to happen, then the energies have to change on the planet. And I wrote something on July 4th that was talking about the US in terms of that, and that it has to. So as I said to my husband yesterday, that even when Trump goes, whether it's sooner or later, I doubt if he, for entertainment purposes only, and this is my particular opinion, is that he's not going to last the 4 years. And then J.D. Vance, I don't know. Like others have said, no, he won't be president. Something else will happen, and that feels right to me. But if that's the case, there's a lot of undoing to do. A lot of undoing. So there's the U.S. They have, in that short time they've been in, have created more chaos than many would have thought. And so that all has to be reversed, refixed is the word. That's the word they gave me, refixed. Not particularly reversed, because what was there wasn't perfect enough, didn't address all the loopholes. And so a lot of what was done through loopholes, and the ability of courts, the Supreme Court, I'm hearing, particularly, to make decisions that did not benefit the American people. So there's a lot of money, of course we know that, a lot of money involved in that. So think about everything that's happened. Then think, yeah, and they're going to bring me to Canada. Think about Canada. So again, a cautionary tale, but it appears that Carney's got us under control, and he's just quietly doing what he does. He's got, he said he would get private investment to, Canadian private investment to do a lot of the stuff that he wants done in the country. And part of it is he got a Canadian company into Greenland who's got the rights to explore the critical minerals in Greenland. So he's kind of put a block against Trump doing that. So Trump doesn't have Greenland anymore. Canada's company has Greenland because when the world likes you, the world's more looks more kindly upon you. And Canadians, Canada is being looked on more kindly than the U.S. currently. So we're considered like a state that's, yep, a stable partner. Thank you, um, and someone you can count on. So as this is unfolding, um, we are more of that, where the European countries and even other, I'm hearing even China, even China, because countries like stability. It's like, take it back to your own household, or if you own a business, you like some sense of stability. Like if you know what's going on, then you can plan for that. If you know how much money, say in your household, how much money is coming in every month, then you can plan and work around that, right? But if you don't, if it's fluctuating a lot, and a lot of people, salespeople have that, and the only way around that is to save money. But it fluctuates, and if you're a piece worker, is that the word for, where they um, just take on contracts and drive Uber or for Amazon or whatever, then that's not a stable income. And so that creates some anxiety in a family and stress when you're not sure how much money is coming in for that month. So you really have to hunker down and rethink and reimagine everything. And that's what I'm hearing is going on for the world right now in all these different governments, is the reimagining. And that's what's going on in the States. And that's why and that's why there's been a timeline jump, because there are enough people reimagining what is possible. And some of the old things will be picked back up again, and some will not, because they didn't, they didn't serve well enough. It was big, the very thing that Trump and Republicans talk about but don't really understand. I'm hearing they don't really understand is this big government overreach. This too much big government, and that hinders things being done more at the local level. So they're reminding me that Carney and the federal government wants to do with the provinces is to cut away some of these regulations for building homes, to make it easier and quicker for homes to be built, for projects to be developed, so it doesn't take like years to get permits and stuff. That doesn't mean, like Doug Ford and Daniel Smith seem to have decided, it means that they're going to want Bill C. What bill is it? 5. So they want the ability. They think they've signed an agreement between themselves. What the hell that means, I have no idea. They want the ability to push projects through. So Daniel Smith wants the pipelines pushed through so she's made an agreement with Ford that the pipeline can be pushed through to Ontario. But I'm like, what about all the provinces in between? What's she going to do? Fly it across Canada? Doug Ford doesn't think that he should have to confer with the First Nations on any of this, and doesn't think that precious green space, that, what is it called? And it runs all the way from Niagara Falls all the way up to Tobermory, and then it runs across east as well. So it's protecting farmland, wetland. Why is wetland important? Wetland's the filter for the rain, for all the groundwater, where municipalities get their water from. Like this is big stuff. So Doug Ford wants to be able to just push things through without regard for conferring with the public, with the Indigenous people, doesn't about the regulations that are in place to protect the environment. So this is um, has, thank goodness for our indigenous population, because they um, have, that's the term they give me, a canary in the coal mine. They are, for the most part, and they're not perfect. They're people like anyone else, and they um, money's important to them too, and they can be bought as well. But for the most part, they understand um, the land and the importance of the land and the legacy of the land. Thank you. So, and I know that they don't all. I know, they're just people like we're people. However, again, I hear that canary in the coal mine, because Canada's land is important, and it holds an energy. Thank you. It holds an energy as part of this grand scheme of this tapestry on the planet. So every country has an energy that it holds on the planet, and Canada's energy is clearer and stronger than a lot. Um, okay, so they're just reminding me of stuff, and I'm not, primarily because we haven't had a lot of big conflicts on this land. So it's energetically pretty pristine. Um, and we do have all those critical minerals that are holding energy. And we do have huge bodies of water. Water, water, water. And water holds energy as well, doesn't it? And water that's appreciated recreationally, um, and is desired by others that don't have the access to all that clean water. This is weird where it's going. So anyway, I'm just going to pull some cards as I kind of muse along this for entertainment purposes only. Talking about stuff I don't have full knowledge on, so they're trying to find language to give it to me. So what is important for us to know this week? What is important for us to know this week? And, up until now, I didn't feel like coming on. I just didn't feel like it. And I just kept my counsel and tried to keep 2 feet on the ground, and bit my tongue a number of times. So here we are, but going into a week where it feels like, and I've had some crazy dreams. Well, crazy. I've had some interesting dreams where very clear, where people I haven't seen in dreams before showed up, which is really kind of interesting. And yes, so today I just feel a sense of big breath. Oh boy, my body's been hurting as well. And I've discovered when your body hurts like that, it's exhausting. So, what do we want to know for this week, for the collective, for all these beautiful people out there, for all you beautiful people? Accept what is dying. Well, there you go. There you go. Isn't that absolutely perfect? Accept what is dying. Accept what is dying out in the world, because that's what, that's what creates change, when old ways die off. And that's always created change. And that will be happening in your life as well, in your community, in the governments. See the flowers dropping its petals. Accept what is dying. I have a plant outside that it's a bleeding heart, I think, and it turns yellow. So I went looking, why does it turn yellow? And it just goes dormant because it's not, it's getting too warm, or it's too hot in the place it's in. The other place was, anyway, doesn't matter. So last year I cut it back, and it came back again. So you accept it's not dying, it's gone dormant. But this is not that. This is not that. This is not that. Oh, this is not that. This is stuff dying off. period. It's like when the annuals die with the hard frost. They don't come back. So there is stuff dying off that will not come back. And that's cause for celebration. That's definitely cause for celebration. So that's in your life, out in your community, in the governments, whatever, there is stuff that's dying off. And we should celebrate that, right? We should celebrate that. Accept disappointment gracefully. Look at her with her braids flying up in the air. Accept disappointment gracefully. So some of this will be disappointing for you because I'm hearing that friends will leave. You're going. There's things that are dying, and things that are moving away because your energies aren't matching anymore. Doesn't mean anything's wrong. Doesn't mean you've done anything wrong. It just means that energies aren't matching anymore, and so it's just time to accept that gracefully and let these things fall away. The things that are falling away, accept what is dying, um, and accept that you're not always. Thank you for the. You're not always going to get your own way, and accept that gracefully. Like it's just, you know, you'll get your turn. Yes, thank you. I hear that again. You'll get your turn. You'll get your turn. Begin to explore. So begin to explore the possibilities. That's why there's been a timeline jump, because there are enough people beginning to imagine what else is possible. As we talked about before, they're beginning to explore what their life could look like if they did this versus that. They begin to explore, even if it only in their own minds, what would happen if the government did this rather than that. So all of these things create this possibility, this I got a sponge. It's like a sponge soaking up all these possibilities, and it's all being brought together, right? And then all these energies that have an intelligence to them, and the sponge is this big intelligence. This is a funny analogy, but I'm going with it. Sponge is that clean things, perhaps. Anyway, the sponge soaks up all this intelligent information, and it has the ability to sort through it, to coalesce it into a larger energy pattern. So there's always these little threads, and those threads will be brought back in, and we are heading towards something big, bright, and brand new. Will it happen overnight? It's not going to happen overnight, but it will happen quicker than you could imagine. And you will look back, some will look back and go, what was that all about? Do you remember when? And some people go, I don't remember that. And you'd be like, what do you mean you don't remember that? That happened. They're like, I don't remember that. Mandela effect. Look that up. It's a thing. It's a thing where people have different memories of different events. And they've been tracking that. So there's someone like Mr. Peanuts. Does anyone remember Mr. Peanuts? Does anyone remember Ed McMahon and the Publishers Clearinghouse? You might have a memory of that, and then go looking, and no, it didn't happen. You're like, what do you mean it didn't happen? What do you mean it didn't happen? So that's what I mean when there's timeline jumps. So there has been this timeline jump, and so then as things start to unfold, other people, you'll be like, do you remember when? And they'll be like, what are you talking about? And that should give you solace. That should make you go, okay, things are happening as they should be happening. More deja vu as well. Take that as, yes, this is a good thing. This means things are on track. We're on track. We're on track. And that track is moving ever quicker. So, and there's a reason for it. A grand reveal, I'm hearing. And I'll just leave that there and let you imagine what the grand reveal might be. I have, um, okay, I'm going to put it out there. What if the grand reveal is interplanetary travel? What if it's other intelligence visiting us on the planet? I don't know. What if it is? What if it's the fact that nothing is as it seems to be and everything's different? I don't know. I don't know. I just heard the words grand reveal in a good way, in a very, very good way. So take solace in that. And make no judgments about it. There's a saying, it is what it is, because it is. Everything just is what it is. And the only judgment you should have about it is what it means to your, so you get to, oh, not judgment, discern. Use your discernment when you decide for you what's good for you. That's all. And know that everyone else is doing what's good for them. Don't make any judgments about it. You can have your opinions about it. We all have our opinions. But try not to be too judgy, because everyone's doing the best that they can. So when we know better, we do better. I know, you're like, how can that be? You say, like, look at this, look at that. You're right. But when they know better, they do better. And is this not a case of everyone around the world? You look and see, but when they know better, they do better. When they're ready, the addiction stops. When they're ready, um, they exit the planet. When they're ready, they decide to go and get help. When they're ready, they decide to go into politics. When they're ready, they decide to leave politics. When they're ready, they change jobs. When they're ready, when they're ready, when they're ready, when you're ready, when you're ready, when you're ready, that's when you move forward. Do no harm to others or to yourself. Primarily to yourself, do no harm. Do no harm to others. Remain kind, and it will all just work out. It will. Hold the vision for yourself, hold the vision for your community, hold the vision for the world. And for those that have been doing it already, thank you, because there's been a timeline jump. And it's exhausting to have that happen. But here we are. We did it. Yay! So on that note, I'm saying goodbye. So long, farewell. Enjoy your Tuesday. Linda from Go for the Joy. And all for entertainment purposes only. Bye.